Hello and welcome to another video, and it's a nice day here where I live. The birds are singing outside, spring is around the corner, and I'm here to tell a lot of people today that I told you so. And especially for the games journalists out there that, thought they were so close to thinking that this was the end for Xbox, and they were wrong, and I was right. So this article comes to us from IGN.com. Xbox Business Update confirms 4 exclusives going multi-platform, reveals Diablo 4 Game Pass date. Yes, that's right. The first Activision game coming to Game Pass is Diablo 4, and we'll talk about it here in just a moment. Xbox revealed their vision for the future today in a podcast featuring executives Phil Spencer, Sarah Bond, and Matt Booty, who do their best to articulate the path forward for the platform amid reports of plans to embrace third-party publishing strategy. The business update confirmed that 4 games will be releasing on other platforms, though Xbox did not provide additional details. It also revealed Xbox plans for Activision Blizzard games on Game Pass, while teasing the largest technical leap you have ever seen in a hardware generation for its next console. Biggest news at Xbox confirmation that 4 games will indeed be going multi-platform. Phil Spencer declined to name the games, saying only the teams that are building those games have announced plans that are not too far away. As we know, game teams put a lot of energy into their announcements and partners, so I don't want to take anything away from those teams. So I won't be talking about the titles specifically, but I think when they come out, it'll make sense. He was asked directly if Indiana Jones and Starfield will be among those games going multi-platform, and he stated they are not. As for the 4 games that will be going multi-platform, The Verge reports that they will be Hi-Fi Rush, which we already pretty much knew, Pentiment, Sea of Thieves, and Grounded. It is important to note here that Phil Spencer did stop in the interview, and he did say specifically that, he wasn't going to want to talk about future releases. They're going to kind of evaluate it on a case-by-case basis. So does that entirely rule out something like Indiana Jones or Starfield coming to the platform? No, but for right now, they're going to remain exclusive. The biggest news here today is that Diablo 4 is coming to Game Pass, and it's coming on March 28th. This is very, very, very awesome. As someone who has played a lot of Diablo 4 on the Xbox, what excites me about this is now I don't have to buy a PC copy. I've wanted to pick it up on the PC, but now I can just roll my save over on PC and continue playing there. And I think a lot of people that maybe held out on Diablo 4 will definitely check it out on Game Pass. It's a very good selling point for having Game Pass, and it's a great first game from Activision to put out on Game Pass. The last thing here that was kind of interesting, they point out Xbox hardware will also continue to be a flagship experience for players and for game developers to launch games on, with a robust and innovative multi-year hardware roadmap, including more console and controller options for you this holiday. Also teasing a huge, huge next generation console that's going to be this massive leap forward. So there you have it. We have the news here, right? This is what we're going to have going forward. It's not the big catastrophe that I think people wanted or people were expecting. And I've already seen a lot of journalists, and they're going to continue eating crow this week because there were so many that were just so hellbent on this is the end for Xbox. They're going to come out and disband. They're going the way of Sega. And again, like I predicted, nothing could be further from the truth. They're doubling down on hardware, but also they're going to put out games multi-platform as a case-by-case basis, which is smart for them. I mean, again, when you look at something like Hi-Fi Rush or Pentiment, those games have already sold what they're going to sell on the Xbox. They are a part of Game Pass. They're not going to leave that service because they are first party. But why not put them out on Switch or PS5 to make more sales? It's not going to offend anybody. This also confirms to me that you're not going to see, at least for now, anything like Halo, Forza, Gears of War, or Fable come to any other platforms other than Xbox. This is also a reaffirmation of having a physical Xbox. So they're not getting out of the hardware business. They're still going to be producing Xboxes, and they're talking about the future. So I think that for those people and those idiots that I called out in my last video, and I was right, anybody that was wishing for this to be the end of the Xbox or the end of Microsoft in the console space, you're a fucking idiot. And I called you out last time, and I'll call you out again. That wasn't going to happen. I predicted it, and this came true. That was never in the cards, and that wasn't going to happen. There's too much money on the table for Microsoft to say, fuck it, and get out of this business. Because again, even though they're in third place, they're still making insane amounts of money. So it makes no sense to me why they would just back out and put everything on other platforms. And again, you don't want that. As I talked about in my previous video, having only one option for a big boy console, so to speak, because we're not talking about Nintendo, is not a good thing for anybody, because then what does it matter what the prices are? Sony will set those, and they're not going to be what you want them to be. So this is all good news. Honestly, there wasn't anything out of this business update I look at and go, wow, that's sketchy. Nothing was like that here. And I also want to take this opportunity right now, like for anybody that's watching this, for anybody that even watches my content, to just say, like, can we please, for the love of everything, stop with the hatred and the just ridiculous bias towards hating Xbox and like how they're terrible and everything. Like, I'm so tired of it. Like, I cover all the systems on my channel, but like, as I've said before, I'm primarily an Xbox user. I do have a PlayStation 5. I have a Switch. I have a fucking Steam Deck. Like, I have it all, man. A computer, whatever. But I like to play games on the Xbox, and like, I get it. The Xbox One was not a great generation for them. They really fucked people over in the beginning with their announcement. They fucked up their messaging, and I still don't think their messaging is great. I don't understand here why they had to take an entire week to put this out when none of this was really bad news. This could have easily been dropped last Friday. I don't know why they made us wait over a week for this, unless maybe they wanted to really get these three people in the same room. I don't know. But again, nothing here was bad, and I'm just tired of that bias, though. It's like everywhere you go, every news article, it's like the minute Microsoft fucks up, there has to be like 30 people there pointing and laughing. But again, the same doesn't exist when it's Sony. Like I said before, like when people bitched that Sony raised the prices of Plus, people did bitch and they complained. I understand that, but that went away super, super fast. And Sony didn't do jack shit to change that. You're paying more price, you're paying a higher price today, specifically for PlayStation Plus. When Microsoft tried to do that in January of 2022, what happened? Oh, it took 12 hours and they walked it back and didn't do that. So it's just, I don't understand the bias. Like it was fucking 10 years ago at this point that the Xbox One reveal happened. 10 fucking years ago. Like, I understand the conversations about like exclusivity and not having the games. Like, I get that argument, but like this bias is just like, I'm so tired of it on the internet. It's like, oh, you fucking suck because you play your games on Xbox. You need to have a PlayStation. Like, that doesn't matter. I think Dan said it best on Podcast 572. I don't play consoles, I play games. And that's kind of how I am. But again, most of the games that I want to play, I play them on the Xbox because that's the controller that I primarily like to use. That's the ecosystem that I have most everything that I want invested in. I do have a lot of digital games and a lot of stuff on PlayStation as well. It's not like I don't have an investment there. But again, they also, and less than I'll say yours, they did confirm today, like, none of that's going away. They care about your investment in their ecosystem. And I think that was one of the most important things that I personally wanted to see. So again, I wanted to make a quick video here and just kind of say, I told you so. It really wasn't that big of a deal. And yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited for Diablo to hit Game Pass and maybe other Activision titles to hit Game Pass soon. But I'd love to know in the comments below, what do you think about this? And where do you stand with Xbox now that they've revealed their future plans? And yeah, otherwise, remember to like, share, and subscribe. Until next time.